Good morning, my dear students, and welcome to our online class of Maths of class 9th. So, today we are going to discuss about equivalent versions of Euclid's fifth postulate. Okay? Okay, so before understanding the other equivalent statements of the Euclid's fifth postulate, let us understand something which is written over here, that Euclid's fifth postulate is very significant in the history of mathematics. Recall it again from section 5.2. Yeah, we can recall it. And we are knowing the Euclid's fifth postulate. Okay, let us move again ahead. We see that by implication, by consequences, now interaction of lines will take place when the sum of the measures of the interior angles on the same side of the falling line is exactly 180 degree. Okay, so there are several equivalent versions of this postulate. One of them is Playfair's axiom, so that we'll see. Before that, let us discuss something. It means about this sentences which we had read it now. Okay, so from Euclid's fifth postulate, we know that if the sum of the interior angles on the same side of the transversal is going to be less than 180 degree, that is the sum of the two right angles, then the lines are going to intersect each other. But what if the sum of the angles is equal to 180 degree? Then what happens? Then the line will never intersect each other. Actually, here in these sentences it is discussing about this only, that when the sum of the angles on the same side of the, that is, it means the other line, first line, which is just intersecting the two lines, so that is treated as a transversal. So on the same side of the transversal will be equal to 180 degree, that is the sum of the two right angles. It means both the angles are going to be right angles. Then the two lines which are going to intersect are not going to intersect and become parallel to each other. Okay, so this is something related to the parallel lines also. Euclid's fifth postulate gives us something about the parallel lines also. Okay, I hope so you will have understood. Now we'll just see Playfair's axioms statement. Okay, so the Playfair's axioms statement is stated by Scottish mathematician John Player in 1729. Okay, now let's read out what he stated. For every line L and for every point P not lying on L, it means the line and the point are not being on the, means on each other. It means the point P is not going to lie on the given line L. Then there exists a unique line M passing through P and parallel to L. So it's a very simple thing. Like, let us suppose we are having a line L and there is a point which is not lying on the given line L, point P. So obviously from point P we can just draw or construct infinite number of lines, but in that or among that infinite number of lines, only one line is going to be there which is going to be parallel to the given line L as well as passing through that particular point P. So this is one of the very important thing, or you can say the Playfair's axiom, the equivalent version of the Euclid's fifth postulate. I hope so that this must be clear to you people. So now we'll see some more things, and the figure is also clearing the things. Okay, so the another statement is also there. This result can also be stated in the following form: two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the same line. Yeah, this can also be true. The same statement only we are saying it in the another form. Two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the same line. Yeah, it means both the intersecting lines are not going to be parallel to the same line. It is possible that only one line can be parallel to the another line. Okay, so I hope so the things must be clear to you people. I will see ahead what is next. Okay, the next we are going to see, that is given in the box in a NCERT book. This is one of the very important thing which I think that we should discuss, or else, since this is not in our syllabus, or this is not related to our syllabus, so we can skip it also, but I thought that this is something extra knowledge I should just discuss with you people. So this is very one of the very important thing. This is actually related to the non-Euclidean geometry. Okay, so far we are discussing about the Euclidean geometry, but this is the thing which is related to the non-Euclidean geometry. Actually, how does it came into existence? The thing is this, that the Euclids and as well as the other mathematicians of his time thought that the fifth postulate, Euclid's fifth postulate, is actually not a postulate and it is a theorem and it can be proved. So all of you had taken their effort and their attempt to prove this theorem, but none of them have got a success in proving that as a theorem. But these attempts and efforts had found out something very new, thing, or very astonishing thing for that time of people. So that is called the non-Euclidean geometry. Especially it is named as a spherical geometry. We can, in your higher classes when you go there and when you study about the geometry more, then you see that there are some other names also given to this non-Euclidean geometry. So for now, just take it as a spherical geometry only. So this geometry is totally different from the Euclidean geometry. Euclidean geometry, we are seeing the parallel lines, but in non-Euclidean geometry we'll see the curved lines. This is the geometry of curved lines. Actually, there is a big sphere, okay, and the big sphere is having the lines, so that is the curved lines, okay. And one of the example, it is given in the figure, so we can see that, and we'll see that this is totally different from the Euclidean geometry. So very few thing it is given in the book, so that's why I'm discussing with you all this thing. So you see this in the figure, line AN, you can see AN, yes, and BN, which are part of a great circles of spheres, are perpendicular to the same line AB. Okay, both are perpendicular to the same line AB, yes, we can see that, but they are meeting each other. It means the two lines which is making 90 degree angle on the particular another line, but they are meeting each other also. It means they are not being fulfilling the parallel line condition. So this is the astonishing thing. Okay, two lines we know that are never going to intersect each other. They are going to intersect at infinity, but here they are intersecting. So intersecting, isn't it very strange thing? Yes, it is. So this is the actually non-Euclidean geometry. Okay, one more thing is there, but though the sum of the angles of the on the same side of the line AB is not less than two right angles. Yes, in fact it is 90 degree plus 90 degree, that is equal to 180 degree. Also note that the sum of the angles of a triangle NAB triangle, all of you can see easily, is greater than 180 degree. Yes, it means it is not for fulfilling the condition of the angle sum property of the triangle also in this triangle which we can see. So angle A plus angle B itself is making the sum as 180 degree. Thus Euclidean geometry is valid only for the figures in the plane. On the curved surfaces it fails. Yeah, so the Euclidean geometry is going to fail on the curved surfaces, so it is going to be followed only in the plane surfaces. So that's it from this column. So after that we'll see one of the problem, so let's go for it. Okay, now let us discuss the example number 3 of this NCERT book only. The exercise problem I'll give you in the assignment, and after that I'll discuss the solutions with you all. So right now let us discuss the example 3, that is this saying that consider the following statement: there exists a pair of straight lines that are everywhere equidistant from one another. Is this a statement a direct consequence of Euclid's fifth postulate? So it means there is one sentence it is giving: there exists a pair of straight lines, two lines are there that are everywhere equidistant from one another. It means both lines are equidistant from one another. So now for this statement the question is asking, is this a statement a direct consequence of Euclid's fifth postulate? Okay, so the direct consequence means the result. It means the result we are going to be derived from the Euclid's fifth postulates. Okay, now let's come to the answer. Take any line L and point, and for this solution of this question, just we are going to take the Playfair's axiom. Then by Playfair's axiom, which is equidistance to fifth postulet only, we know that there is a unique line M passing through M through P, which is parallel to L. Yeah, right. So now the distance of a point from a line is the length of the perpendicular. Distance of a point from a line is the length of the perpendicular from the point to the line. The length of the perpendicular from the point to the line. It means if we are going to drop a perpendicular from the point to the line, so that is going to be the length of the perpendicular. Now this distance will be same for any point on M from L and any point on L from L. It means two lines were having M and L. So if any point will take on M, so from there if we drop the perpendicular distance, so that is going to be same everywhere. And if we do the reverse of this also, like from L, if we drop any point, any line to perpendicular line to the M, so that distance is also going to be constant. So we are getting something, no, that is asking in the question. So the distance will be the same for every point. Okay, so these two lines are everywhere equidistant from one another, so we had proved it. Okay, so it means that the given statement is the consequence of the Euclid's fifth postulate. And what is the given statement? There exists a pair of straight lines that are everywhere equidistant from another. Actually, it is talking about the parallel lines that we are already knowing about it. Okay, now one of the remark is given over here, the geometry that you will be studying in the next few chapters is Euclidean geometry. However, the axioms and theorems used by us may be different from those of Euclid. Okay, some of the new things also we are going to just use in the upcoming chapters. So this is the end, I think so. And after this, only the next exercise is the last exercise of this chapter, that is 5.2. So we'll discuss that in the assignment. First of all, I'll give the assignment and then I'll discuss that problem with you people. Okay, so this is quite clear that in the next coming chapters also of the geometry, we are going to use the Euclidean geometry only, that is the plane geometry. We are not going to use the spherical geometry. Spherical is a non-Euclidean geometry, and the things I had tried to make it clear to you people. So I hope so the things must be clear to you people. Okay, now time to wind up our session. I hope so that the things must be clear to you people all. Thank you all. We'll meet again in the next class. Thank you very much.